Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I want to start with healthcare, and I think it was mentioned at the last meeting by Mr. Peter Shapiro, talking about a publicly funded healthcare system in Oregon that would resolve these contract issues and restore bus service. And it's true. If we had single-payer healthcare here in the state of Oregon, it's possible that many of us wouldn't be in the room today. Single-payer is endorsed by all the major unions in America. The new governor of Vermont is drafting legislation and is quoted saying, quote, "We think independently, we take care of each other, and we do things that others dare not do," unquote. TriMet and the union can and should be working together with Governor Kitzhaber to make single-payer healthcare a reality here in Oregon. The events in Wisconsin have awakened people there and across the country to the importance of collective bargaining. The situation has highlighted the undeniable fact that collective bargaining rights are what created and built up the middle class in America. The management and board of any American agency or company can do right by our society when they not only accept but also respect the unions of their employees. To take this one step further, we can look to Germany. That country is arguably the most productive manufacturing economy in the Western world. The law in Germany requires representatives of labor to comprise 50% of a company's board of directors. Thus exists a spirit of cooperation that maximizes safety and productivity. This kind of symbiotic relationship is what we should be striving for and trying to emulate here at TriMet. As a frontline employee, I would like to refer back and strongly agree with the past presentations of my coworkers Steve Fung and Sheree Marks. They each came before this board and passionately outlined the many challenges that drivers face while operating a fleet that contains so many outdated buses. I can also imagine, as Dave just testified, how hard it must be for TriMet mechanics to keep these buses running as well as they do. Ask almost any operator what the number one thing TriMet can do to improve safety, and they will say new buses. The bond measure recognized the need for this, and despite its failure, the number one priority for this board and management ought to be finding a way to modernize this bus fleet in the immediate future. The crisis created by having so many old buses is threefold in the areas of safety, the environment, and public health. The safety issues, they've been brought up before, so I won't go into them. Although I will highlight with summer approaching that not having air conditioning in so many buses, we had a cool summer last summer, but that's going to be the exception to the rule. And, when you're in a bus, if the temperature is in the 90s, the bus's temperature is in the hundreds inside. And then if the outside temperature is 100, it's probably close to 120 or 130 in the bus, which isn't very good for the driver, obviously, who's there in it for several hours a day, but even passengers that are only in it for a half hour or so, if they're elderly or have health conditions, that's not a good thing. Also, with the diesel, there's many public health hazards from these old diesel buses with the carcinogens and respiratory and cardio health problems that are created. Environmentally, you have the greenhouse gases. Montreal, the city of Montreal has announced that they will have an all-electric fleet. That they put a goal to do that in the near future. And they're already testing buses that will run on overhead electric wires along the busiest routes later this year. That's something that would really coexist well here in Portland with the streetcars. They're called trolley buses. They have them in Seattle, they have them in Vancouver, and it's a retro thing, but it works. I don't know why it's been overlooked here with the streetcar being brought back to life. And furthermore, the city of LA, their MTA has just retired their last diesel bus. The impact of that is an 80% reduction in carcinogenic particulates and 300,000 pounds a day less greenhouse gases. Their bus fleet is now almost exclusively compressed natural gas, and that's a truly monumental achievement. Their chief executive gives their board of directors full credit, saying, quote, "They were worried about health issues and sustainability. This was 17 years ago, long before these issues became current with the public," unquote. As an environmentally concerned citizen, I give kudos to that board, and I politely challenge this board to follow their example and show their foresight.
Jeff, I want to interrupt for just a moment.
Okay. I can wrap it up. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because I was going to have, I had people that wanted to donate their minutes to me, and I guess that's not acceptable anymore. Okay, so, what's the solution to this crisis? I would say we could look to the city of Calgary, Canada. They're in a similar situation building a light rail project that they're having trouble coming up with the funds to complete. Here, I read recently where we actually cut a deal with a state agency to plug some of the budget deficit for the Milwaukee Light Rail, and in doing so, we've sacrificed future money for new buses. To me, that's going in the wrong direction. What Calgary is doing is they're going to plan to partially construct the light rail route as paved busways that will be turned into railways as money comes in.
Okay. Jeff, you've got a lot of stuff here. I can see that. And if you can submit that written stuff, I would like to see it. Because it sounds like you got a lot of examples.
I actually did put together a package of some articles that hopefully you had.
Perhaps you could just wrap it up. I know you have a lot of questions.
Okay, basically, the city of Seattle, like I say, bus rapid transit is being used all over the country. New York City, Seattle, San Francisco. Seattle, they just opened one new bus rapid transit line, and in less than 3 months they added 1,500 daily trips. To me, the emphasis TriMet's been going for too much is riders per operator rather than riders per capita. Riders per capita, to me, is the real measure of a successful transit system. The percentage of people riding the bus or whatever it is, the bus, the rail, that's what we have to raise to really be, in my opinion, number one. And bus rapid transit is $1 million per mile to do that. Compared to Milwaukee Light Rail, which is $200 million per mile.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, those are good suggestions, and I'd like to see them. All right, Michael.